Did Elvis have the clap? Here we are to find out. Why else would you write a song called Burning Love? Unless it was, obviously there's many other reasons, and which is why it has such universal appeal, which is why it was a massive hit of Elvis Presley's. I know Elvis personally, went to school with him. Don't know heaps of Elvis material, but I do respect the king, as we all should. Because if it, again, like this is a running theme, if it wasn't for Elvis, where on earth would we be? I don't think it would be a better place without Elvis. The guy stole a lot of really great... just be careful. The guy there's currently in my hometown of Bendigo, which all of you guys who are probably watching are from, an Elvis exhibition, which is the first official thing outside of Graceland, I believe. And it's going to be a really, really cool time. I haven't actually checked it out yet, but I thought how fitting to be able to put an Elvis song in there. So people can tell me, I don't actually know a lot about Elvis. I know that there was controversy about Hound Dog being like, I don't know if it was a Junior Wells track or it was someone else had written it and it had been stolen. And then there was a few documentaries about the white guys stealing the black guys' music back in the day. And then, of course, there's that famous line in Eminem's song where he goes, I am the worst thing since Elvis Presley to do black music so selfishly, use it to get myself wealthy. Here's a concept that works. 30 million other white rappers emerge, but no matter how many fish... This is irrelevant, but I just know the rap. I just wanted to let you know that I knew it. So I don't know how this happened. I went over this track myself, and I wondered how I have in my possession multi-track files of an Elvis Presley song. Because when you think of Elvis, you just think of 50s. You don't think of Fat Elvis. No, I don't. Anyway, I think of cool Elvis... is going to win this race. You know, he's in movies, he's having a good time, he's slaying it in more ways than we care to talk about privately or publicly or politely. But here we go. I've got this track called Burnin' Love by Elvis. It's 13 individual tracks. They're on individual pieces of tape. They're on individual actual tracks, and you can open them all the way up, and they are not stems, and I can make them look big and wow. They're real individual multi-tracks. I've rearranged them so they're in an order I can understand. We've got the kick drum, obviously, snare. Overall, which I imagine is the entire kit, percussion OD for overdub, bass, Dennis electric guitar, overdub 2 and 1, let's change that over. Dennis electric guitar, overdub 2, James guitar 1, which I'm very excited about. That's James Burton, guys. This is James Burton tracks. How sick is that? James Burton was the guy who I was going to say popularised, but nobody liked it. The pink Paisley Telecaster. I have a reissue. The first lot of reissues, the A series Paisley from 84 or 86, somewhere like that. But enough of me shitting along. We've then got piano, background vocals, and Elvis main track. So let's just get a listen to some of these. I want to show you just this first little part because I think I like these little tales and things that you're not supposed to hear that are at the start of these things. So let's just have it. I'll shut up and we'll listen. And it's unmixed, by the way. Come on now. I don't know if that's supposed to be in the track because I don't know it, but I like hearing that stuff. Now, I'm going to go back into this kick drum. Listen to that. Sounds like a wet cardboard box. Isn't that amazing? By modern sensibilities, we wouldn't normally like to have something sound like that. I think today we're probably going to look at the EQ on these things more than we normally would, because this is an ancient art form for an ancient style. I mean, not a lot of people are doing stuff like this anymore, and if they are, they're certainly doing it in a much more modern manner. Let's see what's happening here. It's all bottom end. A little bit of slap if you add that. Let's get this clip. Very bottom heavy. It's called a bass drum after all. This is called a kick drum. Let's check out that snare. Interesting. That sounds pretty typical of a modern snare like recording. I'll pay that. That's yeah, looking about 200 there for a bit of beef. You'd probably want to cut a bit of the shit out. But like, I mean, everything's got to sit somewhere, so it'll sit where it needs to. Get rid of that. Sounds like a snare to me. Put them together. Man, that kick sounds like it's got a really thick fibre skin or something on it. Probably, who knows what it is. But just sounds like a big beefy thing with a felt hitting it. Very cool. Now, I believe this was recorded in 1972 because, like I mentioned before, that I would have expected this to be on one stereo track on a piece of wax. No, not really. But Elvis did record some things that way, but this was well into Elvis's career. It was only a few years, 5 years before he died in 77. And so this was, peak success, I suppose, for Elvis. Let's hear the overall drum kit here, and then we'll add the other two instruments back in. You can hear guitarists in the background, so they did play this together. They've just mic'd everything up individually. Cool. I'll shut up. So you can see that's reproducing pretty much everything reasonably evenly. Not taking a lot of kick, obviously, because when we add that kick, it's not going to be affected on this channel, but you can hear that it comes back. A little bit of a dip around that 2K area. I imagine the guitar will probably feel that when it comes in. Let's put it all together now. So there's your drum track. Now, I don't know how this would have been mixed on the original, but I know it was very popular to do things like this at the time, which is to mix all the drums to one side. But, I mean, maybe that was more of an early thing when the stereo stuff started happening. Let's go over to the percussion track and just have a listen to what's happening there, because I like to hear this stuff see these tiny little pieces of audio here? I love to hear this stuff. That means that they ran that track the whole way because they didn't punch in or anything. They ran the tape until it was time. So you can hear them. Hear them sitting there. Really turn this up. Listen. There's a click track or something. And then get ready for it. Don't blow your ears out. How cool. We know what that is. I've got it cranked up. All right, let's listen to the tail behind it and just have a little bit of a laugh and see if there's anything funny in there. It's just a big piece of piano. Okay. Oh, it's a bit of guitar. I dare say that's a mixture of reverb that's been printed down into that one track. More than likely from one of the guitar takes. Very cool. This will probably be a quick one. It's only a very short session. Let's hear some bass guitar. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's juice. Blame it on my juice, baby. That is gorgeous. Let's hear that with just some kick drum. That makes sense now. That kick doesn't sound so bad anymore. That's such a gorgeous tone. Now, I would say that's probably an electric bass close by, and you can just hear a little bit of the bleed coming through the microphone, but what a gorgeous tone. Probably played with finger at the time. I don't know, was it a picking a thing in the 70s? No, that sounds a bit picky. Who knows? Doesn't even matter. Anybody who tells you shouldn't play with the pick or should play with the pick is a liar. They don't know. You play however you want, that's how. Dennis's electric guitar overdub 1. Like it. Put that overdub in because that's got printed over it. Love it. Very cool. We'll add that second one in too. Now, why don't we go ahead and pan them? Going to go ahead and I'm going to take a look at her. I hate when people talk like that. Okay, so you can hear a bit of stereo happening. And get ready for this. It's got that classic country ping pong delay. Da-dung, da-dung. You can hear a bit of Elvis in there. Oh, that's different takes. Never picked that. I'm going to just listen to that individual second overdub for a second because it sounds like almost like it's got a chorus on it. I mean, an octave on it. 12 string, you think? Or he could just be playing the octave down on a lower string. That's really, really quite cool. I hear them together. I'll pan them again. That's so cool, that slide. And then what's this piece up here? Hunker, burning love. Hunker, burning. Alright. And now I can't believe I'm about to hear James Burton's isolated guitar tracks. James Burton's a legend. And here's a fun fact about Elvis's band. The Yellow Wiggle, Greg, actually hired all these guys to come and do a tour with him to play some of Greg's originals. But it was really hard because Greg was like, okay, now let's go. It was really kind of hard to watch him because we know him so much from the Wiggles and he had a great big smile on and he was like, all right, everybody, now we're going to do the Rompopper style. He wasn't really like that, but it was hard to take him. I mean, I take him seriously because he's a very, very successful musician, but it was hard to see him with Elvis's band and his presence being so friendly, very un-Elvis-like. But anyway, let's listen. I can't believe it. James Burton's guitar. Bit stanky. Oh. I love it's loose. Like you would think it's got to be super tight and everything. It's just, it's not. It's hanging on. Who's John? Who's John guitar? I mean, who's to say he's not hitting all the notes, man? James Burton knows what he's doing. I don't know if they'll pay him half that day or what. But it's good. It's good. It's just, you know, it's hard to imagine these things on their own, right? Let's hear a few tracks together. A little closer. They don't have to be so wide. We don't want to get in trouble too much, so let's just go into a piece where there's some more. Probably, realistically, they're going to come down later, so we'll bring them down now. Bring those down in the mix now. I know we're not doing a mix, but we're kind of doing a mix anyway. Let's check out whoever John is, because I'm so sorry, I don't really know a whole lot about the history of Elvis, except for a little bit of James Burton and some other like tidbits of stuff, but okay, John. Someone there's going, oh, you don't know John... You know, whatever his name is, you should know him. Interesting to hear that that's so clipped. Interesting. No, it's making me feel sick. Center it. I'm always interested in a piano track. So let's have a listen to that piano. What are these? Sounds like a real piano to me. Did Elvis play piano? Like Freddie? Jim can't believe it. That's fantastic. I can't believe it either. Get to that chorus. Come on now. Yeah, that guy's in the room with a piano with the rest of the band. That's sick. That's so cool. Rip it up. Just as a recap, let's go back through these drums here. We'll have a listen through this last section for the drums. That kick drum sounds like cardboard. Love it. It comes together. Trust me if you're just popping in. Snare. Modern. Crispy. Overhead. Brings it all together. Percussion. Cowbell. Way too loud. Bring it back. Bass. Yes! The best bass tone I've ever heard. Very 70s, very electric. Come on, boys.
That's a gas.
What the fuck? What just happened there? What did they say? What did he say? Everybody, listen. What did he just say?
That's a gas.
What? I want to hear what that said. What he said. Go big. I want to see. What did he say? I better hear that. That is so funny. Sorry. I'm so sorry, everyone. I just need to find out what was just said. That I love when you just find things like that in tracks that sort of shouldn't be there but are.
That's a gas.
Is that him here?
That's a gas. Let's listen to that.
That's a gas. Is he saying that's a gas? Doug, if you're watching, you're from Texas. Can you decode?
That's a gas.
Jesse, if you're watching, tell your dad to come and decode this for me.
That's a gas. Let's listen to that.
That's a gas. Let's listen to that. That's what he sounds like he's saying to me. But anyway, we've got a bit of an idea on what that sounds like. This is also the part where if you're in, stay in, because we'll get copyright struck by whoever owns Elvis's stuff, which they will hopefully release, because I understand that this is for educational purposes, this is not for profit. I actually have these episodes going up on YouTube at the moment. They are a couple of weeks behind, but I'm just giving it a test. I'm making sure that these things, they get seen by by my mates first, of course, and also they get copyright hit first, because then they'll go into that sort of database, I imagine, and when I put them onto YouTube, they actually get flagged really quickly, and then any money that would ever get made for that will go straight to that original artist rather than to me, because I don't care. I don't want the money from this. I want to have a good time and deconstruct a hit and learn how to make one myself, so I never have to work again. You only need one. Trust me, one will be fine. I'm not greedy. I just want one. And listening to Elvis, listening to Madonna, listening to Michael Jackson, listening to Earth, Wind & Fire, listening to Jamiroquai, Justin Timberlake, Christina Aguilera, Jennifer Lopez, they've had more hits than I have. So why should we not celebrate those and have a listen? Celebrate! I think that's in here, Holiday. Okay, I'm going to go back in and we're just going to check out the main event, Elvis Presley's vocals. So here's a thumbnail shot. All right, I'll save that for later. And then go in and hear the background vocals, left and right. I can bet you all imagine what I'm going to do with those. Probably going to pan them. I like panning stuff. I love it. I'm a panhandler. Let's listen to them just for a couple of minutes. Okay, we can hear some background. So they're in the same room. I can hear Elvis too. We'll skip along. That's all music. Let's just hear what's going on here. It's the big sections we're really looking at. Here we go. So good. Alright, I'm going to get rid of that for a second. I just want to hear this baritone. Get ready. Burning love, love. I don't know if I can go that low. Very cool. And let's check these ones out. Burning love. It's very white, isn't it? I can just picture what they look like too. You know what I mean? I'm gonna pan them because they say to pan them, and I'm also gonna just go back towards the end and listen to them together because they sound just gorgeous together. Ah, yes. Out of key. That's me. Here we go.
Hunka, hunka, burning love. 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 Hunka, hunka, burning love.
Okay, I'm with you. I get it. We're here. Fantastic. Listen to that. Okay, this is the kind of the part where we get to find out if this song is about chlamydia or if it or if it's genuinely innocent. I mean, every song is about sex. Go and find one. I mean, most of them. Any pop song. It's hard to not hear the word baby in a song, and every song's about relationships and getting together and having sex with people and all that kind of shit. So no doubt this is too. Let's hear it from Elvis himself. I haven't actually listened to his take yet, so.
Lord Almighty, I feel my temperature rising.
Oh man.
Higher.
So sorry. I'm so sorry. Dad, stop calling me. Right, I'm in the middle of something. I'm having a moment here trying to listen to Elvis. My dad's calling me. It's coming through the stream. Knock it off. My goodness. Okay. It's probably something really important and I really should get back to him. We'll finish this up and then I'm going to call my dad back, okay?
Lord Almighty, I feel my temperature rising.
It's classic Elvis.
Higher, higher, it's burning through to my soul. Girl, 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 you gonna set me on fire. My brain is flaming, and I don't know which way to go. Your kisses lift me higher.
Your kisses
like
lift
the
me higher.
sweet song of a choir. You light my morning sky, burning love. Ooh, 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 I feel my temperature rising.
Yeah, temperature. That's a sign.
Help me, I'm flaming. I must be 109. I'm burning, 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 and nothing can cool me.
Nothing can cool me, and I'm burning.
I just might turn to smoke, but I feel fine.
Wait a sec. What?
And nothing can cool me.
Okay, we'll say that last bit again, Elvis.
I just might turn to smoke, but I feel fine.
I've had confirmation from a real Texan here. Doug Bruce has said it's definitely chlamydia. So, hey, you know what? Burning love.
Cause your kisses lift me higher.
Kisses do lift me
like
higher.
the sweet song of a choir.
The song of
and
a
you
choir.
light my morning sky, burning love.
Okay. Maybe it's more about like getting hot for someone than it is about like contracting STIs.
It's coming closer. The flames are now licking my body.
Oh, flames licking his body, baby.
Won't you help me? I feel like I'm slipping away.
I love hearing that Elvis like is a little bit lazy on stuff too.
I feel like I'm slipping away.
I mean, I'm as good as that, which is not good, but I can do slipping away and just kind of little like trail off a little bit. But Elvis is number one. I'm not.
It's hard to breathe. My chest is heaving.
His chest is heaving. Okay, so he's having trouble breathing.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
I'm burning a hole where I lay.
Okay, so he's got a fever and he's in bed.
Your kisses lift me higher.
Yeah.
Like the sweet song of a choir.
Okay.
You light my morning sky with burning love.
All right.
With burning love. I'm just a hunk of burning love. I'm just a hunk of burning love. Hunk of burning love.
Okay. Elvis, look, I appreciate you, man, but I think you might be in an abusive relationship. She's keeping you sick, brother, and you're stuck in bed. You're stuck in bed burning up, and you're just like, but I still love you, baby. And she's feeding you this poison. Who knows what's going on?
A hunk of burning love. I'm just a hunk of burning love.
He's doing it.
I'm just a hunk of burning love. A hunk of burning love.
This is why Elvis is the king, man.
Burning love. A hunk of burning love. Yeah.
Just dead, just dies out. Just see ya. That would have been a fade out, no doubt. That's so good. Let's hear some of those lines with some backup vocals in there, because it starts to thicken out, and we're at the end. I think we have been now closed for business, but if you are still around, thanks for sticking around, and please do stay around. Yeah, we have been blocked, so we will just resume that. Okay. Yeah, we're still on. So if you're in, stay. This is the last bit, I promise. And this is where I can get a little bit more. I can add a little bit more to it now that I know that they've seen it. So respectfully, thank you very much, all of course, already for listening and for I'm not sure who owns this, EMG, UMG, SME, but either way, Warner, whoever. Yeah, hopefully you enjoy this too. Let me hit the right button on the right thing.
Your kisses lift me higher, like the sweet song of the choir. You light my morning sky, burning love. Ooh, 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 I feel my temperature rising.
So Elvis has got a lot of
Help me, I'm
quite
flaming.
broad spectrum of music going on in his voice. Like a lot of the frequencies are being used.
Burning,
However, a lot of them are probably the backup band.
Cool me. Yeah. I just might turn to smoke, but I feel fine.
Realistically, everything under 500 is just kind of everything else, and then a little bit of body.
Your kisses lift
We
me
need some
higher,
like 200, 300.
like the sweet song of a choir.
The snare lives there, I mean.
And you light my morning sky, burning love.
Other way, we're not messing with Elvis Presley, right? But we are going to auto-tune him. Because that's funny to me. So, Elvis, let's see what you got, baby. The OG, the king. He's the guy who shaked his wee-wee on the TV, and everyone in America got pregnant. He did it, man. Let's auto-tune Elvis. I can't believe we're doing this.
Lord Almighty, I feel my temperature rising.
Is anything happening?
Higher, higher, it's burning through to my soul.
It might be too much.
Girl, 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 you gonna set me on fire.
There might be too much interference with all the other instruments.
My brain is flaming, and I don't know which way to go.
Well, or maybe
Your kisses lift me higher.
Maybe Elvis was
like
just good at singing.
Song of a choir.
I think.
You light my morning sky, burning love.
I think Elvis was just pretty good at singing. I think Elvis was pretty good at singing. Of course, the auto-tune's not going to do it. We need to auto-tune Elvis for... What are you doing that? Everybody, look, no plugins. No plugins. Elvis, leave Elvis alone, everybody. What a legend. I can't believe it. Really got to go. If you are in Bendigo in Victoria, Australia, go and see the Elvis exhibition. I have not yet, and I would really love to. If anyone from that is watching this and you aren't completely disgusted in me, send me a ticket. I'd like to take a friend or two. No, I'll pay. I'd love to go to see that, especially after being able to use this. I'd be more than happy to go and put my dollars down for that expo. That'd be a great time.
'Cause your kisses left behind.
Start
Like
adding
a
some
sweet
things.
song on the choir, and you light my morning sky, burning love.
Tasty bass. Love that. Here comes some cowbell.
It's coming closer, the flames are now licking my body.
Licking my body, baby.
Won't you help me? I feel like I'm slipping away. It's hard to breathe, my chest is heaving. Lord have mercy, I'm burning the hole where I lay. Your kisses live behind, like a sweet song on the choir. Light my morning sky, burning love, burning love. I'm just a hunger burning love.
Yeah. It's going off. It's going off. I'm surprised if you stuck with it and you could hear anything at all. Absolutely just blowing out.
Burning love, the hunger burning love. Yeah.
That's a gas. Let's listen to that.
That's my favourite part. That's where I'm going to leave it. That's where I'm going to leave you. I've got to go call my dad back. Thanks for coming to check out Elvis's Burn and Love. Go and check out the art show that's in Bendigo at the moment. I'm not sure when they finishes, but it'll be most of 2022, I'm sure. Surely it has to be. Great stuff. The King, he was the king, and then the King of Pop married his daughter for a little while. So how about that? There you go. Really cool. I hope you have a great night. Enjoy yourself. Drink some water. And check out this cool introduction thingo that I made. And then GFY. Bye.